Imagine having a 16-year-old child and then one day finding out that they aren't yours. This is Deadly Daughter Switch. We begin with this human-sized lemur named Brooke, who donates blood for a blood drive organized by her daughter, Haley, played by actress Tomorrow.
What a dumb name.
This leads to Brooke finding out that her daughter doesn't have the same blood type that she had at birth. They go to the hospital where she was born and discover this little doozy.
Unfortunately, I can say with absolute certainty that Haley is not your biological daughter.
If I'm not your real daughter, then who's my real mom?
This lunatic, Alexis, who you know is the scum of the earth because she's stealing money from her job.
What a piece of shit.
At home, we meet Alexis's daughter, Brienne, and find out that the reason her mom has been stealing money is to save up for a mother-daughter trip.
I've been doing some research.
Oh, wow. Brienne, this looks perfect.
Oh wow is right, $74 for a beachfront hotel. Or does it cost $74 to sleep under that palm tree? Just then, they spot a newscast on TV, which is fake as fuck. What is this jackass doing?
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Reaching out to the public, and specifically those with daughters born on December 29th, 2003, and to please come and take a DNA test. You can go to their website for a list of the girls born on that date.
That's my birthday. And you were born at Hillside Medical.
Thank God they just so happen to be watching this. And thank God the news has nothing better to do than sort out this family's baby mix-up from 16 years ago rather than reporting real news. The movie takes us back to the hospital by showing the exact same establishing shot as earlier with the same black truck, because taking an extra 30 seconds to film an additional establishing shot may have bankrupted the movie. The families meet with the lead doctor, whose badge photo is just the actress's photo from her IMDB page because they didn't feel like taking a new one, and suggest that they should let the teenage girls decide who they want to live with by putting them in the middle, having the moms stand apart from one another and seeing who the girls run to. Okay, not really, but they do suggest that each girl spend a few hours each week with their biological parents. Alexis is worried that if her daughter spends time with her real parents, she will automatically want to live with them because they are rich, and will suddenly not give a shit about the woman who raised her from birth.
It just doesn't seem fair.
Alexis is caught stealing money at work and fired by her boss.
I'm losing my daughter, and I cannot handle that!
Alexis, give me back my money!
Alexis pushes him and he is murdered by a table. But since Alexis witnessed the whole thing, she's worried about being blamed and runs away. It's the first day of the girls spending time with their real parents, and it's going great. Brienne learns that she and her real mom are both into plants, and Haley learns that she and her real mom are both allergic to tomatoes.
Cool.
Haley asks who her real dad is, because it's not this guy.
Unfortunately, he died before you were born. Car accident.
How old were you when you had me?
Just slightly older than you. It's too young. It was my first year of community college. I was on the volleyball team. He was my assistant coach.
That night, Haley tells her mom, or adoptive mom, whatever the hell she is, that her real dad is dead, and that she wants to get to know her biological mom better, and then asks this.
How about you? Did you like your real daughter?
Baby, just because she's my biological daughter doesn't mean that you aren't my real daughter.
Except it kind of does.
Brooke uses SearchLink, Lifetime's fake Google, to look into the death of Haley's biological father, and finds nothing. The next morning, Alexis gives Brienne her lunch and gives her a kiss goodbye.
By the way, I just want you to know I'm not going to be around like this much longer.
Because she's dying.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you know, they're only going to keep the coffee shop closed for another couple days because of Fred's accident.
So it's true he really just slipped?
That's what the police think.
Of course they do. Why blame or even bring in for questioning the last person who saw him alive at the very place where he died?
That would be a good idea now, wouldn't it?
Brooke confronts Alexis about the fact that she couldn't find anything on the death of Haley's dad online because she's determined to piss this woman off as soon as possible.
Wasn't anything about a death of a coach at Aniston Community College that school year.
Really? You know, he was just the assistant to the coach, so maybe Google didn't catch that little detail.
Yeah, because Google doesn't give a crap if you died if you're only an assistant. Or was it because she didn't use Google? She used Search Link. Brooke goes to Aniston Community College to talk to a sports coach about the volleyball team back in 2003.
And you're positive that John Beckham was the only assistant volleyball coach that school year?
Positive.
And even though he was just the assistant coach, why is he the only coach in the team photo? As Alexis spies on them through the window, which I can't figure out how this guy doesn't see, he informs Brooke that John Beckham isn't dead and tells her the name of the nearby school that he currently coaches at, which is pointless because at no time does she try and contact him.
Why did she bring it up?
Alexis approaches the coach and demands to know what he told Brooke. He addresses her by name, and we're not sure how they even know each other, but who cares because it's time for him to die. Brooke invites Alexis, her boyfriend, and Brienne over for lunch. After one sip of beer, the boyfriend drunkenly blurts out that Haley's father isn't dead, which is confirmed by Brooke.
It wasn't supposed to come out like this. We're sure that you have your reasons. We found John alive.
You didn't find shit. All you know is what this guy told you, and it cost him his life.
Are you happy now?
Brienne says that she's moving in with her real parents and runs off. Alexis yells at Brooke about stealing her daughter and gets back into the car with her boyfriend, who is really sorry.
I'm sorry.
We are done.
At home, Alexis snuggles with her teddy while staring at a photo of her and Brienne, completely freaking out this owl. While watching the nightly news, Brooke and her husband find out that the coach fell down the stairs at the school and died. Could they really not come up with a different news story for the ticker than the same one they showed earlier in the movie? This is now weeks later, and apparently protesters and police once again clashed at the state capitol. It's Brienne's first day at her new school with Haley, which was miraculously arranged overnight, and she is immediately welcomed by this psycho.
Yes, get in! Okay, this is Brienne's first day of school, and her first day as a member of the crew. Because, seriously, let's be honest, any friend of Haley's is a friend of ours. Or, in this case, sisters. Sisters switched at birth. Is that not insane? OMG, you guys are Swisters. I am so hashtagging that. Okay, I'll see you guys around.
Can she be the next to die? While at work, looking like she wants to kick out this group of black people for doing absolutely nothing wrong, Alexis stalks her daughter on social media. Seriously, why does she keep looking at them? She tracks down her daughter on a jog and begs for her forgiveness. And also this.
I booked our trip.
You did?
Yes. Yeah, and I booked that hotel you wanted and everything.
How'd you get the money? You said you needed a few more months.
Yeah, how did you get all $74? Brienne backs away because she doesn't even know who her mom is anymore. But Alexis reminds her that
We're mama.
Well, that was weird.
Alexis decides that it's time to fight back with a diabolical plan. So she tracks down Brooke's assistant while riding on her bike and does whatever that was. Alexis goes over to Brooks and tells her that her coffee shop is closing down for remodeling and that she'll be out of work, which is a lie. Brooke goes, "What a coinky-dink. My assistant was just hit by a car. How about working for me?" Brooke meets up with Alexis with a contract that grants her custody of both daughters, their house, and part of their savings if anything were to happen to her and her husband. Alexis thanks her because now she has a reason to murder them. At home, Alexis pulls out a gun. That's when her ex-boyfriend walks in to collect the rest of his things and is like, "I can't sit back and let you have a gun." So he dials 911 and she hits him in the face, which someone outside witnesses. She drags his body out back, snaps his neck with less effort than it takes to fart, and phones 911 to report an accident. At Brooke's house, Alexis tells them that she's so traumatized from seeing her ex-boyfriend fall down the stairs to his death that she can't go back to her house. They let her stay with them, and she even gains sympathy from her daughter. Brooke falls asleep at work where someone outside is spying on her. As she walks to her car, parked in the middle of a jungle, she gets the sense that someone is following her and freaks out.
Get away from me!
In the middle of the night, she receives a voicemail from John Beckham asking her to meet in person to talk.
Now we're getting somewhere.
But that never happens.
Never mind.
But as it turns out, that was John Beckham in the previous scene. Why didn't he just approach her like a normal human being instead of approaching her like a serial killer? And to think that after this, he went home and left her a voicemail saying he wanted to meet in person. They just were in person.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid, huh?
Instead, we cut to the grand opening of a community center where the guy is once again spying.
Just go talk to her, man.
Afterwards, they go to a restaurant with no name, and Alexis tells Brooke that she booked her and her husband an Airbnb for a couples retreat. At the Airbnb, Brooke and her husband just had sex. Brooke FaceTimes the girls, who tell her that they're headed to the movies. Alexis says she can't go with them because her tummy hurts, but secretly plans on using the alone time to murder Brooke and her husband. Brienne walks in on her with the gun, which Alexis has no problem lying about directly to her daughter's pale white face by saying she only has it to feel safer. On their way to the movies, Haley and Brienne are followed by a car. They head back home to safety and have the scariest encounter of their entire life.
My name is John Beckham. I'm Haley's father.
What?
I just need to talk to you. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm here to save you.
Obviously terrible at first impressions, he then says this.
16 years ago, she tried to kill me.
What? My mother?
Yes. I almost died. She ran me over with her car because I wanted her to get an abortion. We were so young. She was barely 18. I was 19. It seemed like the only option.
So you're my dad.
Yeah. I'm your dad.
What a guy! The girls go inside and notice Alexis is gone, and so is the gun. Brienne basically says that Alexis is driving up to the Airbnb to murder their parents, and they react as if it's no big deal.
I'll drive.
I have the address in my phone.
I'll drive.
I have the address in my phone.
Whereas this was their response to someone pulling into their driveway while sitting safely inside their locked car. Alexis arrives at the Airbnb, and rather than sneaking up on the unsuspecting couple, she enters through the front door and slams it shut.
Was that the front door?
Brooke's husband goes to check it out and is shot. As Haley, Brienne, and their new dad race to the scene, he tells them that he witnessed Alexis murdering her boyfriend but didn't call the police because he had no proof, so he just let her get away with it. Alexis tells Brooke that she's going to kill them because she stole her daughters away from her. Brooke reminds her that the contract granting her custody of the girls and their estate gives her motive and will make her the #1 suspect. Alexis says, on the contrary, I never signed that contract. Therefore, no one will suspect I was ever here. Even though her prints are on the keypad, her daughter saw her with a gun, her cell phone was pinging off every cell tower on the drive up there, and they can prove that she knew where the couple was staying because she's the one who booked their Airbnb. But let's face it, no Lifetime detective would ever put in the work to figure that out.
You got that right.
Brooke finally puts up a fight, which she could have easily done 3 minutes ago, but had to let Alexis finish her stupid bad guy speech, and now has the gun. John and the girls enter the house, and Alexis charges at Brooke with a fire poker, who fires a bullet into her shoulder. The police arrive, acting as if they have any fucking idea what's going on, and immediately point their weapons at the woman who is bleeding on the ground instead of the one holding a gun. The cops drag her out, handcuffed and bullet-filled, with clearly no concern about getting her medical attention. We cut to 2 months later, and the happy girls are going to a dance. Haley stands with her abortion-seeking father, and they pose as a family. Their hot dates pick them up, are told to have the girls home by midnight, and drive off, but sadly are killed by a drunk driver.
I'm just kidding!
And that's how the movie ends.
Woohoo! That's what I'm talking about!